What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Kyle here, and I'm here with a couple of great friends of mine that are going to be adding a ton of value here today to you guys on the call. I see a lot of people already tuning in here, so guys, go ahead and just if we want to get started, write in the comments where you're tuning in from. And as you probably saw on the email that I sent out a little bit earlier, we're going to be talking all about CRM systems today. So, go ahead and put in the comments too, what CRM system are you currently using? Because we want to go ahead and we're gonna add a lot of value. We're gonna go ahead and share some tips, best practices. I've got like two super experts on CRM systems. They are from Chime CRM, and I've gotten to know them quite well here in the last few months, and gotten quite familiar with the Chime CRM system as well, which we will talk about too on the call, and share basically how their system functions and kind of some of the benefits and all that. So if you're in the market for a CRM, or maybe you're not quite happy with the one you have now, maybe you'll see some reason to switch. And so but yeah, real quick, before I do too much babbling here, I want to introduce Shelly Hobbs and Brady Mosk to the call. And if you wouldn't mind, guys, I guess maybe Shelly, we'll start ladies first. If you'll go ahead and maybe just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for Chime CRM.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much for having us. Hello, everybody. I'm coming in from beautiful, sunny Phoenix, Arizona. And I am the Chime affiliate program manager. I've been with Chime for a couple of years now. And I actually started as a customer success manager. So I've worked with various different sizes of agents, teams, brokers to bring Chime training and really help with overall agent adoption. I've actually been in affiliate marketing myself for about 11 years, and all things online marketing, social media marketing. I'm obsessed with marketing. And so I love being able to help the affiliates go out there and really help to promote and market Chime, everything that they know and love that's helping to accelerate their business and bring it to other people so we can all win the day, win the year, and be able to help more people. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Glad you're here, Shelly. Thanks so much. And Brady, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I know you're in a new office there, Brady. So tell us where you're coming from and a little bit about what you do.
Sure am. Thank you. Again, my name is Brady Mosk. I'm a sales manager over here with Chime, and you guys are talking to me in our brand new building that we actually just purchased here in downtown Phoenix. We're about a stone's throw from the Sun Stadium and from the baseball stadium over here. So been with Chime for about 4.5 years. I started off as a frontline account executive. So I've had thousands and thousands of conversations with real estate agents all across the country, unpacking the systems they use, sharing best practices and tips and tricks, and ultimately helping folks convert more leads into deals, more deals into referrals, and just helping that business grow. So really excited to be here. Thank you again, Kyle, for having us, and super excited to talk about some CRMs this morning.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I got a couple questions that I want to go ahead and ask first off, just to get the call kind of rolling. And guys, by the way, if you're watching and you've got some questions, maybe it's about your CRM or really anything. Maybe it's about Chime, and their packages that they offer or whatever. Feel free to put them in the comments, and we will get to those questions either during the call or at the very end of the call. So. But just to kind of kick things off for those that, maybe are either new to real estate or maybe they're not quite using a CRM system to its full, effectiveness right now, and Shelly or Brady, either one of you, if you want to answer this, what are some of the biggest benefits that you see that agents get by actually, using a CRM system? Why should agents, either invest in this technology, financially, or their time to using a CRM?
I think it really has to do with the ability to manage your time really effectively, right? When an agent first joins into this real estate profession, they typically start off managing their sphere. Maybe they have some friends and family. I mean, let's face it, sometimes we're working less than 10 folks really that we're trying to do business with initially, right? And staying top of mind with 10 leads, managing 10 relationships may not be that difficult, at least at first. But what happens on month 3, month 6, month 9, when those 10 leads turn into 100, turn into 300, turn into the thousands, right? Which I'm sure many agents here on this call have databases of more than 1,000 folks that they're working, right? So I think what a CRM will do is help a client stay top of mind more effectively with their leads, make it really easy to track communication, emails, text messages, as well as some online behaviors. When you're using a CRM, you can get a lot of intelligence about what your leads are looking for. Somebody goes onto your website, you're notified about it, so you can follow up with the right people at the right time. So I think a CRM is really just an easy way to help capitalize on opportunities that are happening amongst your sphere, your clients, your referrals, your past business, all of the above.
Agreed.
One thing I'd love to add to that too is, typically, as with anything, whether you're selling a lipstick or a treadmill or a car or a home, the thing is, people are not necessarily ready to buy today. They go through this, the phases of awareness, curiosity, conversion, right? And so with a CRM system, once you start filling your funnel and you start generating leads, you have to remember, and I've actually done quite a few Q&As with brokers and teams on this, is about 18 months is when they start to see the person who came into their CRM system then start to take action, whether they're wanting to buy or sell their home. So we have to think the long game, right? How are we going to be able to utilize the system to keep these leads and nurture them until they're ready? How do we stay top of mind, and how do we have insight into where they are in the process and what they're doing as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things that I think, separates like agents who kind of have this like constant like roller coaster business where it's like, oh, I'm selling a house, and then, they don't sell a house for a couple months, from the ones who truly like have built a business with this, is that they are organized, they have systems in place. And one of the top systems that any agent will ever have, in my personal opinion, is their CRM system. Just because I know how important having a database is as an agent. I mean, if we all think about like, a business, like, whether it's a real estate business or any other type of business, a lot of businesses have like assets. Like when you were to sell a business, you're being purchased, is your assets. In real estate, really the only asset we have as agents is our list, right? Like that's how powerful this is. And if you were to ever sell your business as a real estate agent, what somebody is essentially buying is your list. So why not have a tool that you are using to help, to manage the biggest asset in your business? And so that's kind of how I look at things. I've had a CRM system for, well over a decade here. Now I've got, now multiple CRM systems to kind of manage a couple of the different business things that I'm in. And it's super important. And so, yeah, so I definitely love that aspect. Now, really, I guess let's talk a little bit about kind of some best practices. I think some agents, they probably know that having a CRM system is important, and they've probably tried, because like even in the beginning, like I tried a couple times before it really stuck with me, of like where I would, spend time to put the data in and actually, make use of it. But like a lot of agents probably have a CRM system, whether their brokerage provides it or maybe they've even spent their own money on it and they're not using it. Like, what would you say to agents like that? Like, how can they actually start to get in the habit or whatever it takes to like get the use out of their CRM system?
I think it's just making sure that your CRM is connected to the rest of the tools that you lean on. A lot of folks have no problem generating leads, but they really struggle to get those leads into the CRM. Nobody wants to sit behind their CRM and type in John Smith at yahoo.com, 8675309, right? All that manual data entry is time consuming, right? And it's easy to lose habits and just not be, on top of that kind of thing. So I think it's a matter of streamlining how you leverage a CRM, right? A CRM should be a virtual assistant. It should be a place that you want to go because it's where you go to learn who your hottest leads are and who you should follow up with. So I think transitioning a CRM from being considered a time suck to more of a partner, that's how you can change the perception of, where you want to spend time versus, I just want to go call some people and have some conversations. I don't need to spend time in my CRM. So I think it's just making it a no-brainer asset as a part of your conversion process. That just makes it, more like the back of your hand and less like a foreign system that you don't want to spend time in.
Yeah, Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Well, I think that one of the things I'll say for me too that kind of really, I guess, made me more use a CRM is instead of just kind of like having it be like, oh, well, I have this tool available. Like I had to set like time blocked time in my calendar to where like, for me, it was in the morning time that I would wake up and like, and there would be times like the previous day, like I didn't put everything in there. So like that next morning, cause I had it was just even an hour that I would be in there, basically prospecting from the system, but also updating notes. Like I had to have a set amount of time every day because like it's not one of those things you just pick up like once a week or every few days. Like you won't build up enough of a habit doing it like that. Whereas, even if it's maybe 30 minutes a day, I think the daily use of it, and once you start using it every day, you'll be in it more than 30 minutes. I mean, it's impossible once you start seeing all the benefits that a CRM system provides to not want to be in it more and more. And it was also a great way for like tracking, like, for me to really know, am I making progress towards like my goals? Because if you're just like doing things off the top of your head or by pen and paper or whatever, it's really hard to start to see like trends in your activity and your results. And I don't know, I'm a competitive person. I like to, see like the numbers, of like, am I winning or am I losing? And, in a CRM system, it kind of was the only way for me to really do that. And so, yeah, I enjoyed going into it every single time. So I think you almost have to make it like a fun thing for you, like make it a competition, even if it's just yourself, that you're competing against. Like you said, Brady, like the more that you can integrate it into like what you're doing every day, I think it's super helpful. Now, and this is, I mean, we'll kind of go into the Chime specific thing, but here's the thing that I think is awesome with Chime, and maybe this is where y'all can talk a little bit about like the history of Chime, but what I know of Chime and what I've seen, personally, is just like the mobile usage of Chime, and I think that nowadays as agents, if you're using a CRM that's not just like mobile friendly, right? Like, but like mobile optimized, where this thing is like built for mobile, you're going to be doing yourself a disservice, because I think a lot of agents, we want to be on our phones, like not just in front of a computer all the time. And that's one thing that I've seen, compared to a lot of other CRMs, that Chime does amazingly well. So maybe share that side of it a little bit, about just the history of it and how
Absolutely.
Chime came to be, and what the mobile side of things look like.
Yep. Yeah. So, when we first got into this business about 6 years ago, we realized that agents don't like sitting in rooms like this all day, right? I appreciate everybody coming together for a webinar to learn about CRMs. After this, I'm sure you guys want to go talk to your buyers and your sellers, right? So we wanted to leverage a CRM that functions just as well here on our computers as it does on, what you got in your pockets, right? It should be existing on an iPhone, on an Android, on a tablet, on a mobile device. Your CRM should become your best friend in this business, right? So Chime actually first started as a native mobile application in the App Store. We were founded up in the Bay Area. A bunch of tech guys got together and built a mobile app of a CRM first, because we know you aren't going to be sitting behind your computer 24/7. So you need a mobile app that's going to ping you with push notifications, text message reminders, email reminders. You want to be bombarded with calls to action and reasons to follow up with people. Hey, Sally just opened an email that you sent her yesterday. Now's a good time for you to check in with her, right? Someone just got moved to under contract. Now there's a checklist of tasks that you need to complete. Those sorts of things should show up as seamlessly on your cell phone as they do on your computer. That way you can focus on your next client and that next event, and less so much about waiting to get back to your computer at the end of the day to manually update everything that you've done and hope that you've taken good notes on the notebook that you carry around with you, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. For sure. It's like what I've seen, is it's almost like I've got two kids, they're 7 and 8, about to be 9. And they download all their games on my phone. And so then I get like all these notifications of like, the little pop-ups in their games. But this is like, it's almost like that, like you gamify it in the sense you get all these notifications, but it's a game that you can actually make money on instead of like, just playing something that's not going to do you anything. But yeah, you're getting these notifications like in the moment, real time. of like things that you could or should be doing. Now, whether you choose to do it or not, like that's you being an agent, right? Like you got to do those things. But knowing, being aware of that, I think is the first thing. And a lot of CRM systems, they might like email you, or maybe you can, kind of set it up on the mobile. But if it's not like user friendly and easy to like respond and to do the things that you're supposed to do with it, then agents aren't going to want to do it. And with yours, like I said, it's super easy to do that. And so again, I mean, whether you're watching this and you're already, a Chime user or not, we're not trying to say like, hey, like that you have to go use Chime. But like if your CRM isn't like indicative or isn't like helping you, easily do things mobile, I think that could be a big reason why a lot of agents aren't using their CRM system. So that's kind of why I brought it up at that point in time, because I get that from a lot of agents, that they just wish that their CRM was better on mobile. And so, so I just wanted to point that out, that you guys I know are great on mobile. Chime is. And so, yeah, big consideration for those that are thinking about it. I got Lucas. Hey, we will definitely get to you. I see Lucas put a comment down here. He's looking into either KV Core and Chime right now. So definitely we'll kind of touch on that here in a bit, Lucas. So, but yeah, so I guess let's kind of talk about a little bit, because I know you guys see a lot of agents' accounts, and you also have a lot of clients who do very well in the real estate space. And I would love to get just y'all's take, whether Shelly or Brady, on like the agents that are having the most success. What are you seeing that how are they using their CRMs compared to, agents that maybe, aren't using their CRM as much? Like what are the top producers doing in their CRM systems that's really, giving them a leg up in the business?
Sure. Well, for perspective, Chime's got over 40,000 agents all across the United States and Canada. And because of that, we do get to work with some of the highest producing agents. So we're really, really blessed to have some strong relationships with folks like Robert Lucido and tons of great names that we can rattle off, right? But I think the big point is what can you do to actually drive usage? You can trigger as many automations and automate your work as much as possible. The power users in a CRM let their CRM work for them versus trying to be the only person driving action in a system, right? When they sign in, they should see what the system's been doing behind the scenes, and that should excite you. That should give you a reason, again, to see who your hottest leads are, to see who's reacting to your automations, who's worth your time to follow up with. So I think the more automations and the more that you can turn your CRM into an assistant, the more proactive you'll want to engage with it and want to spend time in it, because you'll sign in and you'll be delighted to see who's been responding to you, who's been on your website, who's been communicating via email with you. And it's less of, let me sign in and see what I should do. It's like, let me look at my hit list. Let me look at the activities that Chime has teed up or your CRM has teed up for you, right? If anything, you want your CRM to be as close to, George Orwell in 1984, right? Big Brother's alive and well, and we should be telling you who those hot leads are, who you need to be following up with, and what kind of opportunities you have in the database, right? Inspiring you into action versus, oh man, I got to go into my CRM again. Well, it's the first time this month. I might as well do it. Better late than never, right? So I think it's just tools to make your lives really easy and save you time. If you can save time through automation, you're going to be more inclined to spend time in that system.
Agreed. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, and I'm sure a lot of times, agents on this call right now, or, that are hearing this, they're like, yeah, like that stuff is great. Like, I would love to be able to have all my stuff set up and do all this, but there's like an investment in time to set it up, to learn the systems. And, what I've said to agents, who have those thoughts is, I mean, it's one of those things where it is front loaded, like for you to get familiar with a system, for you to really start to like feel comfortable and to use it. It's going to take a lot of time, especially in the beginning. Like, I mean, and sometimes that can be overwhelming. And a lot of times, like, agents don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're like, well, is this ever going to get easier? Yep. And I can promise you that it is. I mean, it's almost like, it's kind of the same thing when I talk to agents about like setting up their finances, like on QuickBooks. Like, nobody likes using QuickBooks or having to like sit in there and like learn how to like categorize different transactions. But at the end of the day, like, you want to have a P&L and be able to like see your numbers and be able to send it to your accountant so you can do your taxes easily. Like, but it's very difficult in the beginning. But after you do it for a long time, it gets a lot easier, and now, like for me, I can do it in 15 minutes and I'm, in a week, and, it's really quick. But when I first started trying to learn all that stuff, it was very difficult. And so, so maybe speak to kind of that real quick. And then after that, guys, because I see some people here that were talking about kind of like seeing the actual system of Chime. We'll jump into kind of a demo, show you guys, actual, like actionable things that you can do in Chime's CRM, but then also, comparing it if you have a CRM now, like maybe your CRM does some of the stuff and you should be using it, but we'll dive into the actual platform of Chime here shortly. But real quick, I just want to speak to maybe like the education side of it, and how specifically Chime educates and kind of indoctrinates people into their system, and maybe some advice that you would give agents who are kind of like under that learning curve of like, well, I need to like learn all those things first before I can even do it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a very, very smart call out, right? I don't think it's responsible to tell someone that when you join or sign up for a new CRM, somebody's going to wave a wand and it's going to be all set up and it's going to be humming flawlessly, right? I completely agree with Kyle. The more time that you invest on the front end, setting up your systems, learning the best practices in those systems, the more time that's going to save you than the weeks and the months and the years that follow. So implementation, learning the product, adapting to it, right? I think those things are tremendously important for making sure that you feel like you get ROI from the CRMs that you use. Now, Chime's developed a couple different strategies to help drive user adoption. My personal favorite, though, is the live scheduled webinars that Chime runs for new clients every day. Chime actually runs 3 live scheduled webinars for new clients Monday through Friday at different times, right? Rotating throughout the day. And they're all, again, done as live scheduled events. So no matter where you're at in the country, you could find a session that you want to tune into, jump in, go through it, maybe get some questions answered over the course of it. And guess what? Next week, if you need a refresher, you can jump right back into that session again, listen to that content one more time and let it sink in a little bit more. So I think having the structure to go in and attend those scheduled training sessions, to write down the questions that are standing out in your mind and to make sure you get those questions answered, that's what's going to help you move from, wow, this is a brand new foreign system, to, oh my gosh, I can't wait to spend more time in here because of everything that it's helping me do, all the time that it's helping me save, all the systems I can now move away from because I'm doing things better within my own CRM. So scheduled training sessions are really, really important. I think being proactive on a social media and a Facebook community is also really important too, because there are so many agents across the United States and Canada on these systems, right? There's a tremendous resource for you to ask, hey, what kind of best practices do other agents have, right? What kind of drip campaigns do you like? How do you follow up with your sellers, right? Simple open-ended questions can really make it easy for you to get some digestible topics that you can put in place immediately. So being present in training, collaborating with other folks that are using the same systems that you are, talking to the veterans that have been using systems for a long time, right? We've got folks that have been on Chime since day one and they're active in our communities. So those are the types of folks I would hope that any new client comes on board and wants to connect with in order to learn how they made the most of the systems.
Yeah, and I
100%.
add on to that really quickly as well. Again, our user forum is absolutely phenomenal. I think there's like over 5,000 users in there. And when I first started with Chime, I learned a lot about Chime. Even though I went through a good training, I learned a lot about it just being in that user forum. And I'm really big on time blocking. My whole life I time block. But that's one of the things I would time block, is just time block it on my calendar for 10 minutes to go in there and see what questions people are asking, and all of the super users that we have that are just so generous in their knowledge to give like literal step-by-step of how people should do things. It's pretty phenomenal. I also wanted to add, we have an incredible learning center online that we put together. And what I love about it is it's short little snippets of topics, because we know you're very busy as agents. So again, if you're time blocking, saying I have 20 minutes to incorporate to, be setting up my CRM, or 30 minutes a day. If you plug that into your calendar and you go into our learning center, there's little snippets of videos on different topics walking you through how to set everything up. It's incredibly user-friendly. I really love it. I think it's very simple, and it's something that you can wrap your head around, because you're not like, oh gosh, this is an hour-and-a-half webinar. I don't have an hour-and-a-half, but I bet you have 10 minutes to tackle 2 or 3 topics.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's go ahead and then now let's jump into kind of the demo side of this, where let's go through Chime. I want to show agents, not only just Chime system, but like, if they're following along, they've got their own CRM, like what are some of the things that, you guys are doing, that you recommend agents be doing in their CRM system. And let's show it in real time and actually kind of talk through where most agents should be spending most of their time, the different things they should be setting up, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and Brady, let you share your screen here. And there we go. I think we got it up on the stream. Yep. So
everybody able to see that okay? The team dashboard up here?
Perfect.
All right. Beautiful. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, so why don't we start off here? This is the first thing that someone would see when they sign into the Chime CRM. This is your personalized dashboard. Right now, most folks don't spend all day, every day on their dashboard, right? But it's nice to see some low-hanging fruit about who should I be working on? Who should I follow up with? What are my outstanding to-dos today, right? How's the year going year after year? So I'll cover this pretty quick, and then we'll move more into the heart and soul of the system. But new leads, this is just a reflection of your systems being necessary in terms of integrating with the lead sources that you get, right? I'm sure folks on this call get leads from Zillow or Realtor.com or Google or Facebook or any other lead source out there, right? So you really want a CRM that automatically brings in your leads, so you don't have to add them into the system yourself, right? So that would be piece number one, is just seamlessly integrating every new lead source into your CRM. At the same time, what's nice about Chime, and one of the things that sets us apart, is not only will we tell you who your newest leads are, but we'll also tell you who your hottest leads are. Chime uses artificial intelligence. We use behavior-based analytics in order to help track what your leads are doing online, with your communications, your emails, your text messages. We analyze all that activity, and we can easily tell you who the hottest leads are in your system today. So anytime you have an opportunity here in your Chime, you have a lead that is worth your time to follow up with. So you want to work your newest leads, start on the top left. Want to work your hottest leads, go right into your opportunities. Right next to that is probably one of the most important pieces of any agent's day-to-day, and that's task management, right? The reminders that you set up for yourself. I need to check in with Shelly next Tuesday about the property we looked at on Saturday, right? The reminders that you set up for yourself should be front and center every time you get into the system, so that your tasks don't slip through the cracks, right? Task management is incredibly important, and we'll spend some more time looking at how you can structure tasks in Chime. I think another piece of using a system like Chime is making sure you can track your financial metrics and your goals, right? Setting yourself goals for what you do every day, every week, month, and quarter. That's how you stay on the ball. So in Chime, when you get onboarded, you can put into our system exactly how much revenue you'd like to track, how many transactions you'd like to process, and whether you're on pace to meet and exceed those expectations. So goal setting and transaction management should also be a big part of the systems that you're using. Right beneath that are a couple pieces that I like pointing out that are really unique in the Chime ecosystem. Number one are these smart listings. Smart listings, guys, are the properties that you have active in the MLS. Chime is one of the very, very few companies in this space that will integrate your MLS data into the CRM that you use. So if you put a new listing in the MLS, it's immediately going to show up here in your CRM, so you can do a ton of things with those properties. Things like advertising your listings to social media, things like creating a listing video, or maybe running some ads for that home so you can start generating some more targeted buyers that are interested in more information about that property. More to come on that MLS integration, but I think that's really important, is being able to see your listings that are active across your brokerage, and any listing that you have active in your MLS in order to send those homes to your buyers and help identify buying and selling opportunities. We also give you the ability to set up some hot sheets over here, and we'll explain that more as we roll through this a little deeper. I think some of the most important pieces, and we touched on this a little bit already, was automations in your CRM, right? And in Chime, the main styles of automations are going to be things like smart plans, drip campaigns, as well as MLS automations. Because we connect with the MLS, you can set up things like property alerts and market reports out to your buyers and sellers. And you can do that automatically in Chime. So more ways to help you stay top of mind, more ways for you to proactively share new, unique content with your leads to help stand out and build better relationships, right? We'll cover both of those automations as well. Again, this is just your dashboard. You're not going to spend a ton of time here. Really where you'd want to be spending the majority of your day is working with your leads, right? So this is the Chime People tab. This is the central hub of our CRM. This is where you'll probably be spending most of your time. When you sign in, you have the ability to see every lead across your entire system. You've got 3,500 of these folks. One of the first things that you want to do when you're moving into a CRM is organize your database by pipeline stages. Everybody starts off as a brand new lead. We want as many closed won clients as possible, right? How you organize that process from new lead to hot to under contract, this is entirely customizable. But we want you to have a standardized process of turning a new lead into a closed won client. So the first step is organizing your database into pipeline stages. If I want to see all my hot leads, I go to my hot pipeline stage, and there's my 31 leads that I put into this bucket. And we'll talk more about automations and drip campaigns across those pipeline stages as well. But big point is that they're customizable. You can set them up however you'd like. That's the first layer of segmenting your database. Right underneath your pipeline stages, I think the second way to organize your leads would be by using groups. So what's a group? A group is a folder. It's a bucket. It's a way that you can work the right leads at the right time. I think the biggest, most common example of groups would be your referrals, right? If I want to see all my referrals, well, there's the 73 referrals I'm working, again, across the different pipeline stages that I have active. So when you're managing a database, you should be organizing your leads into pipeline stages as well as into groups to make it easy to work on the right leads at the right time. For example, if I want to send out something like a mass text message to all of my referrals in Chime, with just a couple clicks, I could come over here, select that mass text option, and then send a text message out to everybody here simultaneously. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Easter, whatever that case or whatever that message may be. But doing mass communication should be a no-brainer, and it should be as easy as a couple clicks in the systems that you're using. So things like mass texting, things like mass emailing, even being able to make calls and track calls and record calls through the system, those are all styles of communication that we want to make really, really easy in the CRM. So we've got those pipeline stages, guys. We've got those groups that we can segment our leads into. We also have a third way of identifying and tracking our leads, and those are your tags. A tag is a way to help identify and label specific leads. So maybe you have your VIP tag. Maybe you have your $2 million plus tag for your VIP clients that are looking for some of the more expensive homes in your market. Maybe you live here in Phoenix, Arizona, and you tag your leads with Suns fans or Cardinals fans. If the Cardinals happen to win the Super Bowl, I want to sort my database by the tag of Cardinals and then send out a congratulatory text message or an email to everybody I've tagged as, a Cardinals fan or the Suns, or, you pick your poison there, right? But how do you label your leads and organize them to make it easy to work on the right people at the right time and send out standard communication? So pipeline stages, groups, and tags, those would be the three main ways that I think about organizing the database when I'm getting into the system. Any questions coming up so far?
Yeah, well, so I don't see any questions yet, but I'm just gonna, comment that I love like the pipeline view. Like, I think that is probably one of the things that I like to see the most, because I like to see the progression of people going through the funnel, basically, and essentially that's what this is. It's like a big funnel, right? And you're just trying to funnel people on through, and then having the ability also to categorize by groups and tags. Like, I'll tag people with like certain zip codes or neighborhoods that I know that they're interested in. So if I see a new listing that pops up, and like, yeah, they can be on a property alert, but if I want to do something kind of more custom, like, hey, I just saw this property or whatever, I was thinking of you, whatever, right? And it'll just go out. So yeah, all these cool things that you're talking about. And you would think that like this would be like par for the course, like every CRM system would offer it. But they don't. There's a lot of CRMs that don't have this, or it's not very easy. It's not like the UI, like the user interface on Chime is just so like fluid that it's like easy to kind of like go and see the different things, like you said, kind of, reach the right people at the right time, which, in other CRMs, maybe they have that functionality, but like they're so buried behind like a bunch of other things that it's not very easy for people to get there.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
One other thing I like pointing out on this page is, we talked about these groups and these pipeline stages and these tags, but let's just say you want to jump in and work the hottest leads in your database right now. Chime offers a lead scoring system for you. This is where that AI and that behavior-based analytics come into play. So using Chime, you have the ability to sort your database by their lead score. I can see all of my hottest leads and just work on down this list, right? These people were all active on my website recently. They were all opening and responding to my emails, my text messages, my communications. So if you want to simply track your business by who's the most reactive, proactive, and responsive to you, letting some AI come in and help be an assistant for you is a really nice way to help focus on those hottest leads that are going to have the highest probability of doing business with you, in the short term. So just wanted to point out that lead scoring system from an AI perspective.
I wanted to add something to this as well, real quick, Brady, is you guys see there the pipelines, right? Where it says all leads, new leads, attempted contact. You guys can customize those, but secondary to that, see underneath of that where it says name, lead score, registration, last visit, you can move those columns around. And one of the things I love to put next to each other is the lead score and the activities. Because if you bring the activities over, you can literally hover over and see like what they're looking at, what they've saved. So it gives you some really great insight to be able to pick up the phone and be like, hey, Brady, I was just calling to check in, depends on how you want to say it, right? You don't really want to say, I can see you've been looking at such and such, but you could say, hey, you know what? I've got this great house that came up. I thought about you at 777 Morel Avenue. And he could be like, oh my gosh, I was just looking at that. So now you've got something to go on with the conversation.
That's cool.
Exactly. Just some more clarity about what your leads are looking at and how you may be able to stand out in their minds, right? If you reference one of these homes that they just saw, odds are they're going to be more inclined to say, you know what, I just saw that property to Shelly's point, right? So having that kind of information at your fingertips just makes the system even more user-friendly and more powerful, right? And by the way, adding leads into the system's really, really easy. If you bump into somebody at the grocery store or at a networking event, pull out the Chime mobile app and add in all of the information about that new relationship, right? Their home address, even down to things like birthdays, wedding anniversaries, home anniversaries, family members you want to track in Chime so you can follow up with those important family members like spouses and children that may be involved in the purchasing or listing process. So just really, really streamlined way to get new relationships and new opportunities in the database from the normal actions that you guys are doing, all day, every day, right? By the way, let me pull Yes. Go ahead.
Real quick, Brady, I was gonna say while you're on that, because you had mentioned that I know Chime can automatically pull from a lot of different sources, lead sources and whatnot, but also speak to like somebody who maybe like they have their contacts on their phone, they have their Facebook friend. Like, what do y'all typically say for somebody like that wants to put that kind of data in? Should they just throw everything in there and then kind of manage it in Chime? Should they clean things up before they send the information to Chime? Like, what is y'all's best practice or recommended procedure there? Oh, I think Brady might be a little frozen. Let's see. Are you there, Shelly? You're muted? There we go.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, all right. So just Brady.
I'm actually curious to see what Brady's going to suggest for this as well. How to add those in, whether it's a one-on-one, just manually adding those in. I don't know if you can download like a mass export from Facebook, but nonetheless, whatever you can mass export, you can do a really simple import. I mean, it's very, very simple to import leads into your Chime CRM system.
Yeah, one of the things that that I've done personally, and when agents have asked me that question, like that's like I have a response. I was kind of curious to see Brady's response too, but what I usually say is I do try to manage and merge all of that information into like an Excel spreadsheet first. I don't put it straight away into the CRM because then depending on how the CRM is set up, like it might be harder to manipulate, every individual, especially if you have a lot of records that you've got to manipulate. It's a lot, more difficult to kind of do that upon, hundreds or even sometimes thousands of records in there. Whereas if I throw everything into a Excel or some kind of a spreadsheet, I can manipulate the data in there, clean it up in there, and then I throw it into my CRM system once it's clean. I definitely don't recommend just sending a bunch of just random raw data into the CRM right away. I would say try and clean it up, try and fill gaps and holes and voids in your CRM. Or in your data prior to throwing it into the CRM. So like, for instance, like for me, if I get a lot of leads, if I've got people on my Facebook friends and things like this, maybe I don't have their email or their phone number, they're just a Facebook friend. Well, I'll shoot them a message on Facebook and say, hey, I would love to add you to my preferred client list or something, make it sound, don't just be like, I want to add you to my email list or something, like, if they're not asking for that, but try and make it seem like what's the benefit for them of why you're asking for this information, and try and fill those gaps, the phone numbers you're missing, the emails you're missing, throw it in there, and then put everything into your CRM system at one point in time. So yes, I mean, in the beginning, there is a lot of work getting familiar with your CRM system, learning it. And then also, if you've never done this before, cleaning up your data. That can seem like a lot of stuff, but I promise you, once you have it all there and it's good and you can start, sending out automated alerts and things like this, it's like smooth sailing. Everything seems a lot better at that point.
I would definitely recommend, I mean, that's definitely how you guys are going to want to do it, is put all of your contacts into one spreadsheet. Then again, we've got step-by-step exactly how to do this in our learning center. And if it gets too overwhelming for you, we've got an amazing support team that can also help you with that as well. But it is very user-friendly. I've seen a lot of non-techie agents be able to, get their spreadsheet all cleaned up and do a mass import, which is really simple. But one of the loopholes, like I was trying to think about, how do we make things most efficient, right? And I really like what you said is, you could put like a really cool post on your social media. And I'm always thinking about like reverse engineering processes, right? So if you don't like have an email list or anything right now, you could, I mean, this is like a little off topic, but I'm just trying to help you guys think about how can you like take all of your connections and bring them into one place. You could create like a simple little Google form, right? And you could just put it out to people and say, hey, you know what, friends, I am using an awesome new CRM system. I'm so excited. I'm going to be so organized and I would love your help. And I'd love to be able to stay connected with you. I give great referral bonuses, et cetera, right? You could like figure out how you want to word that. And you can put your link to, say, your Google form. And then you can capture their name, email, address, other information that you want to know. That itself, you can export that into an Excel file. So now you can start getting just everybody in there and then clean it up that way. I think it's really nice when people kind of put out sort of a, hey, here's what I'm doing next and here's where I'm going. And I'd love your help and to stay connected. I think that is a really friendly way of doing it. So I would recommend that.
Yeah, we did. I remember, this was a few years ago, but we did a giveaway, just to kind of like my sphere of influence and the people that I knew on Facebook. And, that accumulated a lot of emails and phone numbers that I was able to then associate to people within into my CRM. And so that was really helpful. And then another one too is just, come from a standpoint of value, like, hey, make something that's so appealing that people want to give you their information. Maybe it's a guide, an ebook. I mean, Shelly, about this type of stuff, from like the affiliate side of stuff. It's like, if you can create, some kind of a lead magnet, and lead magnets are great for cold audiences, that don't know you, but they're also great for your warm audiences and your hot audiences, the people that already know you, especially if you're trying to get something from them, whether it be an email, a phone number, maybe a referral down the road. Like, it could be all these things, but coming from value and creating something, which, I'm all about, creating content. Like I always tell agents, like, that's where you got to start, but you create that stuff that's going to really help you, versus if you're just coming out of the blue and asking people for stuff with like no real, perceived value of why you would be doing that, especially if you not talk to that person in a very long time, it can be difficult. So
right.
now real quick, Shelly.
That's a really fun idea, like a giveaway, like, hey, everyone who, opts in, not only will I, I'm giving away, 5 Starbucks gift cards or 5 lunch gift cards to everyone who opts in by such and such date. And you'll also get a really cool like checklist for what you need to know in today's marketplace or something like that, right? You're giving them value in trade for their email and their name. And I will tell you guys this, like, this is a fun little story. I've lived in my house since 2017. I'm personal friends with my real estate agent. So I will always choose and go to him over anyone else, but I'm not connected with my mortgage lender. Someone recommended her to me. Her name's Melissa, but I would not know that if she wasn't staying top of mind with me every single month in an email. So when it comes time for me to get a new home and I need a loan or I'm refinancing my house, guess who I'm going to go to? I'm going to go to the person who's the point of least resistance, the person who's staying top of mind, who's always in my inbox with value and a holiday greeting, right? And so that's why, like, I am super passionate about the smart plans that are offered within Chime. And if you pair that with the AI, wow, like that is just supercharging your business. It is like the next level. It's really awesome. And I've been in email marketing for 25 years, you guys. And I will tell you, you can write this down. The money is in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up. The money is in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up. You could have a list of 30,000 leads and you might think that's fantastic, but if you're not doing anything with them, then it's not fantastic, right? You need to be staying top of mind. And Brady let me know that the Wi-Fi crashed. And so I'm like, all right, I got this. I'll go with this. So smart plans, you guys, are going to be the game changer for your business. Again, once you get it set up, right, it's sort of a set it and forget it, but you just invest a little bit of time to get this set up and then it starts working for you. It's like your personal 24/7 virtual assistant, if you will. And Chime has a just gigantic list of suggested smart plans for leads based on where they are in the pipeline, based on behavior triggers, based on responses, based on working with the AI, if you got that turned on. It's really, really smart, which is why they're called smart plans. And so I'm a firm believer, if you don't have an email system that is nurturing and giving value to your leads, you're really leaving money on the table in your business, because people do pay attention. And when it comes time, like I said earlier, it's about 18-month time span from when maybe people enter. Maybe you're sharing something on social media and they come to your Chime website, and you can put some really cool like opt-in blocks on there, where you can even do like a giveaway of a lead. We call it a lead magnet in the industry, right? You're giving them away something for buyers or something for sellers and trade for their email. And now they get into your pipeline and your nurture system. And remember, it takes time, right? So if you're the one who's following up with them, automatically, again, you're not doing it, every single day, but then they have the opportunity to keep seeing your name and seeing the value that you're delivering to them. And when they're ready, hopefully and likely, they'll be reaching out to you because you're the one who's been showing up.
For sure. Now, Shelly, one of the other things too that I was going to kind of bring up next is the front end website of Chime and kind of like what a client would see. Because we've been, to this point, kind of talking about the back end of the system, right? Like what we as agents are constantly kind of in, which in my opinion, again, is one of the most kind of like best designed UI. Like it's very intuitive. It's very easy to kind of navigate and to kind of just understand right away how things work. But on the front end side, like what clients see, and what you'll be sending out. Do we have an example? Like, is there either a website I can go to, or do you want to share your screen of maybe like a current customer client? Maybe we can jump on their front end of what their clients would be seeing.
I do. Let me see here. I'll have to hold, please.
Yeah. No, take your time. Cause I know, you showed me this, I think it was a few weeks back whenever we were on another call, and I was really impressed. I actually really liked the IDX, like the way the data was fed in there from the MLS system, and the way you're able to like do your map search and polygon, kind of like, radius of around certain areas and things like that. I thought was very nice. And obviously because you guys are also mobile, like mobile first, basically, the website on mobile looks very, very nice as well, which, I mean, at this point in time, I think I don't know the exact, if I gave you an exact percentage, it'd be like, I'd be making it up on the spot, but I know it's more than half of people that are looking for homes are doing so on their phones. So like if whatever CRM you're using, if the IDX and the website that is created from that CRM is not like mobile, first mobile responsive, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Like nobody's going to want to use your website when they could just jump on Zillow or jump on whatever else, there is out there. So you got to really make your front end site something good in order for people to want to use it. Otherwise, the whole CRM stuff really doesn't even matter. And so that was kind of one of the first things I looked at, and I was really impressed by it. So I didn't happen to have the website you'd shared, so I couldn't pull it up right now. But if you've got one, perfect.
Yes. And I'll share my screen here, and I'll also say this. One of the cool things they do as a new employee when you're starting with Chime is they take you through training, so that way you can really become intimate with the system. And part of that is also building the website. It's incredibly user friendly. It's interesting. I would not call myself a techie person. It's very drag and drop. You could select templates. There's like blocks where you like drag this here into there, and all of a sudden it pops up. So I really love that, because I have seen people who are not techie at all, and they're like, they can get up and running with a really professional looking, beautiful website in just a matter of time. So let me pull up two here. Sorry, just a second. Okay. And then I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here if I can do this properly. How do I do this? Share my screen.
Let's see. I think it'll pull up on here, and then I'll be able to approve it here.
Do I do present?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
There you go. And then pick which screen you want to share.
I'll share the one that does not have 30 tabs open.
Right?
Same. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, I'll share the one that. All right. Do you guys see that?
Nice. Yes.
Okay.
Very nice website.
So this is one. And so as you can see here, there's some, if I refresh it really quickly, you can still see that. Yeah. So there's some really nice, as you can see here, it's pretty easy to sign into. They've got some nice sliding graphics there at the top. Really, really nice. And as you scroll down, you can see here, you can search the neighborhood, and all of these are blocks that you can just build in different sections if you like it this way, right? And there's different templates you can go from as well. So as you can see, this one, again, recently sold, our team, really, really easy to put together. Testimonials, contact information down at the bottom. I love that they have these little QR codes, because if you are looking at it on your computer, you can just put your phone up there so you can quickly get it over there. You can see here's a listing section where there's featured listings, sold, and all listings. One thing that's really cool as well is you can put pocket listings as well on your site. So if you click over to featured listings, and let us know what you guys are liking about this as well. If anything is, these websites that are really easy to put together. Let me see here.
Yeah, like so and from what I understand too, Shelly, is like, yours, like when somebody signs up for Chime, like they get a website automatically. Like it's going to have, it may not be exactly like this one per se, but it's going to be very nice even out of the box. But then you guys also offer like additional services and add-ons and things like that, where you can kind of like fully customize, or if the user wants to kind of customize it themselves, you do give that functionality as well, correct?
From a customization perspective, yes, we do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's market reports
Nice.
that someone can sign up for as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can also customize your site where like no one can get into the site unless they give their registration information. So you can play around with those things if you want to, right? So that way you can capture leads a little bit better. And there's also a really cool block. We call it the lead capture block, where you can offer, if they're a buyer or a seller, like top 10 tips for selling your home. There's actually a generic PDF that's already in there, but you can customize that with like a tool like Canva or something like that, right? And have your own PDF in there. But now again, you're building your list. You always want to be building your list. The more leads you have, the more sales and contracts and connections
Nice.
that you can make with people. So this is one example. I wanted to show you guys one more example that I have. If you want to see that really quickly here, it's BOYEN team. Let's see this one. Again, I love these just gigantic, moving video type home pages. I think it's really pretty. Again, people can come and search right away for what they're looking for. And
are you showing this right now? Because it's still showing the other. You might have that other tab showed, I think, shown. Yep.
Oh, you're right.
That's okay. I was like,
yeah,
it's not showing it there.
Okay.
You have to read. Yeah.
This one more really quick. There we go. Okay. So here's
there we go.
Again, really large front home page with a really beautiful video. So if if you're working with someone who, what do they call those? Drones, drone photography. You can add that onto there. Again, these are all blocks, you guys, right? So it's just drag and drop exactly what you want in these sections of these templates. And you can see they're pretty familiar up on the, they're pretty similar to each other, where you've got just real simple navigation for people to be able to go find what they're looking for. And then register here, like if someone wants to register, you can create a free account. This one's real simple. I would just put my email address in there and go to the second page. And now this agent has been able to capture my lead, and I go into one of their pipelines and I start the process of the follow-up with them. And what's also nice is I don't think that they have the AI turned on here. Otherwise, it might start chatting with me. But if it did, it acts like it's a real person, right? So I think the default name is Anna. Sometimes people make it real fun and they put like a dog and say, I'm the 24/7 virtual assistant. And depending on how the person responds, if I'm just looking, or I have another agent, or I'm ready to buy within 3 months, or I'm moving from another city, the AI has all of these triggers that then it continues to have this conversation, but it's qualifying me as it's connecting with me. And in my lead record in the Chime CRM system, it'll have that whole conversation recorded, which is really, really cool. And you can turn it off at any time that you want. And you can also turn it back on. If all of a sudden, let's say that you have a notification turned on that someone who's speaking with the AI is requesting something, right? Let's say you connect with me via phone or text. You find that I'm maybe not quite ready yet. So you put me into a different pipeline to continue nurturing me, and you can turn that AI back on. For instance, if I go back to the website within a certain amount of time, whether sooner Or even later, there's certain behavior triggers for that. Say if someone's visited the website, after 12 months, or if someone's visited the website again within the last 2 weeks, you can be able to see those triggers come up. So, oh, she's back, right? She's looking again. And that can be a perfect opportunity to just reach out. Hi, Shelly. Hey, I was just following up. I was thinking about you. And I saw this house. Maybe you go into the activities and you can see something I've been looking at, right? So you've got all this insight and clarity to be able to just have this nice, smooth conversation and make it feel like, that's crazy. I was just on your website looking at that. Oh, that's amazing, right? And so little did they know that. So hopefully that was some good insight into showing you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. We actually have I saw somebody had asked about kind of how somebody would get started, like the next step. And so, if you guys have pricing or, what the procedure would be. And I know you guys offer a demo, which I think probably would be good for each individual person who's considering this to sign up. And in fact, I even have a demo link that for people who are watching this right now, or maybe you're watching this later on down the road, if you use the link that I've got, you'll get a VIP demo and actually get the best VIP pricing as well. So I'm going to put that link up on the screen, but maybe Shelly, just talk a little bit about the next steps and what people would go to from here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. So as you can see, Kyle shared his link there. So I recommend that you go get a VIP demo. The reason being is you're at a certain spot in your business, right? You're at a certain phase. And obviously your goal is to grow, right? So you'll get a VIP demo based on, you can really share like where you are in your business right now and where you want to grow to, because there's so many incredible features of Chime. So that way it can be really customized for how you can really leverage the system today where you are in your business and on growing. So you want to get that VIP demo. And it's a really, our team is incredible. They really just give you the white glove treatment service, and they really want to get to know your business, where you're going, what your goals are, and they'll customize that demo for you as well. But I mean, I always love a good deal. So you'll be sure to get special VIP pricing. And one of the great things that, you can count on is when you're going through Kyle's link here, again, it's kylehandy.link/Chime. You can get a $99 activation fee, which is a $400 savings. So we all like to save money. I mean, I don't know about you, but I went to the grocery store the other day and I went to go buy my favorite 18 pack of eggs and it was almost $11. And I was like, wow, that's like double the price. Do I have a coupon in here? Right? Something like that. Do I have a digital coupon? But nonetheless, right, we want to give you a great opportunity to see how this can fit into your business and really help you accelerate your business, really be more efficient in your day, in your life, because when you're more efficient in your business, you can have more fun in your life. I've been a business owner myself for a very long time. And when I'm using the right tools and systems to be efficient, I notice I have a lot more joy in my personal life because I'm not so worried and stressed and I'm forgetting things or things are falling through the cracks. So definitely get yourself a VIP demo. It's really low key and it's customized to exactly where you are today and where you want to grow to, and be sure to get that super VIP pricing for sure.
Yeah, and the thing to point out too is that, whether you're watching this and you're an individual agent or even a team leader or even a broker owner, they do have different packages. So like, Core will have, a few different ones and they'll fit, the right package for which stage you are in your business. So it's not like a one size fits all CRM. Like you either just get the CRM or you don't. It's like, that's why she's saying like they kind of analyze where you're at in your business and they offer you different things. Plus there's also partnerships that they've got with different brokerages. So not only just, I'm with EXP and I know that y'all have a partnership with us, but there's several other brokerages that you guys have partners with that maybe you don't even know you're at one of these brokerages and you have some kind of a relationship there and you get a discount just because of your brokerage. So
yeah, those are excellent points. We do have a lot of partnerships. So there's something very special, even baked in there for you, even better than what I just shared. And we definitely have packages for different size teams and brokerages. So there's always something for someone. And we've got lots of add-ons. Also, in addition, I know, without leads, we don't have a business, right? So there's a lot of different ways to get leads. There's organic ways, paid ways. And I will say this, we have an excellent, I'm talking over the top, excellent digital marketing team who focuses on Bing and Google and Facebook ads. And these are absolute experts. They do this all day, every day. We're thousands of agents across the board. So they know what's working, what the best practices are, what's not working, and they'll work with you. We have self-serve ads within the CRM itself. So you can do self-serve if you want to do that. But also if you're like, you know what, I want some hand holding here. Like I've never done this before. If you want to do paid ads, but I want to do it. And you want to just feel secure that someone else has got it taken care of. The team will put the ads together for you. They'll send you reports for how it's going and check in with you. So a lot of them have come from actually Facebook and Google as well. So they're just really a brilliant team. And I highly recommend that if you're thinking about doing paid ads, that you get started with them. You can at least, have a conversation with them and they'll get it all set up for you. And, recommend the right smart plans to put into place. And now you've got yourself a nice automated system, right? You've got your system set up, you've got leads going, paid ads going, you've got leads coming in, they're being nurtured and communicated with, and you've got your notifications turned on your mobile app. And now your business is like this oiled running machine. I call it like the snowball effect, where you kind of like pack a snowball, right? You got to start small and then you can start rolling it and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it starts rolling on its own, but you got to start somewhere, right? So that's why I recommend go get your demo and go see what's in this for you and how can this really positively impact your business and your life.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Shelly, and I appreciate your time. And Brady, well, I know you had some technical difficulties there, but we'll have you back on, I'm sure. And thank you as well. But guys, thank y'all for tuning in. And if you do have some more questions on Chime, feel free to put them in the comments or to just go sign up for your demo, and they can answer your questions there as well. But if you put anything in the comments, I definitely will get back to you and answer those, whether it's myself or I'll get Shelly to help me with it, or Brady, or whoever we need. But we'll get you the answers. And we'll be back here next Tuesday. So thank you so much, and everybody have an amazing week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.